Good morning, students. I am Dr. Ritika, the faculty of CSC department, as an associate professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. Today, I am going to deliver the lecture on the subject e-commerce, and in this subject, we will cover the topic of e-commerce, or we can say security of e-commerce. So e-commerce is basically for business, technology and society. So in this slide we will cover the topic of e-commerce security. So let's start with the concept of threats. Now threats is an object, person or other entity that represent a constant danger to an assets. Management must be informed of the various kinds of threats that are facing the organization. So by examining each threat category, management effectively protest information through policies, education, training, and technology. So, here are the e-commerce security environment. In this diagram, you can understand how law and industry standards are interfaced with their technology, and technology data is a subset of technology solutions, and how organization policies and procedure interact between the technology solutions and the law and industry standards. So these are the e-commerce security environment we will use in our e-commerce security. So some dimensions of e-commerce securities are integrity, non-reputations and authenticity. Now in integrity, it is ability to ensure that information being displayed on a website or transmitted or receives over the internet has not been altered in any way by an unauthorized party. Now known reputations means ability to ensure that e-commerce participants do not delay online actions. Now authenticity means ability to identify the identity of a person or entity with whom you can deal on the internet. So some other dimensions of e-commerce securities are confidentiality, which ensure the messages and data are available on those authorized to view them. Some privacy, which are concerned and which are related to the use of information of a customer, which provides about himself or herself to a merchant. Next is the availability, which ensures that an e-commerce site continues to function as intended. So some customer and merchant perspectives on the different dimensions of e-commerce security. So here in this table you can easily identify these are the dimensions, and these are the customer perspectives and merchant perspectives: integrity, non-repudiatory, authenticity, confidentiality, privacy and availability. They vary upon the merchants and their customers. So these are the difference on the dimensions of e-commerce security. So next are the some key factors for success in e-commerce are providing value to customer, provide service and performance, look forward, advertising, personal attention, provide a sense of community, provide reliability and security, provide a 360-degree view of the customer relationship. So some security threats in e-commerce environment, they are depend upon the three key points are client, server and third is the communication channel. And some most common threats which are related to our e-commerce security, or we can say some security threats, are malicious codes, hacking and cyber vandalism, credit card fraud or theft, spoofing, denial of services attack, that is DOS, sniffing, and some insider jobs are the some common threats which are used during the security threat in the e-commerce. So here is the diagram which are related to a logical design for a simple website. In this diagram you can easily understand some website customers that deal with their verification login. They display the catalog pages, and before verification or login they react with their customer database. After displaying the page, accept or reject by the visitor, they also interact with their database, and we can see the some purchase product which is related to their different customer database, catalog database, or we can say order database. So the purchase product are correlated or verified with customer catalog and order database. After verification, some purchase order fulfill their order shipping products, and order shipment is confirmed with the help of the customer. So these are the some logical design for a simple website. So some physical design for a simple website are here. You can understand that how customer can interact with the help of our film, with the help of our websites, and how they related with their Oracle database, e-commerce suites, some advertisements, some online catalogs, some mail servers, or we can say shopping carts, and how with the help of these websites and how communication is done with the internet, and how we can find the output in the form of customer or in the form of result. So this is the physical design of our simple website. So now a typical e-commerce transaction, how a typical e-commerce transaction should be done. Here is the bank and here is the merchant bank. Here is the, so in this is the web server which deals with different documentations and servers. These servers interact with their order of printed. So these order move to their warehouses, and these warehouses arrive, or we can say receive the order in 2 to 3 days, and after receiving they send to their ISPs, and these ISPs also move order to their respective customers, or they can check in the web servers. So this is the way how typically e-commerce transaction should be done. So in the vulnerable point in an e-commerce environment where it is based on their security risk, internet communication, server, client, denial of services, tapping, sniffing, malicious codes. So here you can understand how a bank tapping line sent to their ISP, and how ISP can be sniffing with their sniffers with their warehouses, and after sniffing they break into the store database where they check their online store or in the server. After completing the web servers, they move to their web servers and again check the ISP. So it is the procedure by which our e-commerce environment to be created inside the shipping of the product. So here are the some malicious code. Viruses, computer program that are ability to replicate and spread to other files. Most also deliver a payload of some sort that include microviruses, file infecting viruses, and some scripting viruses. Worm. Worms are designed to spread from computer to computer. Trojan horse means they appear to be begin but then does something other than expected. Bad applets or malicious mobile code means these are the malicious Java applets or ActiveX controls that may be downloaded into client and activated merely by surfing to a website. So these are all are the malicious codes. Here are some examples of our name, their type and their little bit description which is mentioned in the table. So we have little bit aware about the macrovirus worm, file infecting viruses, some email viruses, Trojan horse and worm. So how they are appeared in 2001, then microvirus appeared in 1999, and file infected virus was first appeared in 1998. Email worm was appeared in 2002 and Trojan horse was stuck in 2002. So here are the descriptions related to our malicious code. So some hacking and cyber vandalisms. First is hacker. Hacker is an individual who tend to gain unauthorized access to a computer system. Crackers. Crackers are used to denote hackers with criminal intent. So, two terms often used interchangeable. Some cyber vandalism means intentionally decrypting, defacing or destroying a website. Some other type of hackers which includes white hats, black hats and grey hats. In white hats, the members of Tiger team used by corporate security departments to test their own security measures. In black hats, it acts with the intentions of causing harm, and in grey hat it believed that are pursuing some greater good by breaking in and resolving system flaws. So next, in credit card fraud, fear that credit card information will be stolen, debtors online purchase. So some hacker target means credit card files and other customer information files on merchant servers which use to store data to establish credit under false identities. One solution means new identity verification mechanisms are used. Some snooping, denial of services, DOS and DOS attacks, sniffing and insider jobs. What are these? So let's start one by one. First is the spoofing, means misrepresenting oneself by using fake email addresses or masquerading as someone else. Now, denial of services, or you can say DOS attack. Some hackers flood websites with useless traffic to inundate and overwhelm networks. Some distributed denial of services attack means hackers use numerous computers to attack target network from numerous launch points. So, in sniffing, it is a type of eavesdropping programs that monitor information traveling over a network. So they enables hackers to steal property information, proprietary information from anywhere on a network. Now in insider job, it is a single largest financial threat. So denial of services, how denial of services are work, you can hear in this diagram. Here are the hackers which send some codes, that is handwriting host zombies. They send different networks, and their different networks can affect the servers, where these servers affect their personal users. So these are the working how denial of services are worked in the security of e-commerce. Now technology solutions. Protecting internet communication, that is encryption. Secure channel of communication, that is SSL, that is secure socket layer. which include SHTTP, VPNs, some URL changes from HTTP to HTTPS. So SSL provides secure communication between client and the server. Some protecting networks like firewalls, some protecting servers and clients are also used in the technological solutions. So here are the some tools available to achieve site security, like security management, which is related to their firewalls, security tools, access control, authentications, proxy agent, intrusion detecting, encryptions, virtual private network, tunneling, network security protocol, all are the tools available to achieve the site security. So, some protecting internet communications, we will start with first encryption. So, encryption is the process of transforming plain text or data into ciphered text that cannot be read by anyone other than the sender and receiver. Some purpose are secure information transmissions, and they provide message integrity, non repudiations, authentications, and confidentiality are the providers of our encryptions. So, some encryption ensures message integrity, that ensure that message has been altered. Non-repudiation means to prevent the user from denying he/she sent the message. Authentications means it provides verification of the identity of the person or machine which is sending the message. In confidentiality means they gives assurance that the message was not read by others. So these are the encryptions and encryptions ensures. In symmetric key encryption, it is also known as security key encryption. So both sender and receiver use the same digital key to encrypt and decrypt messages, which require a different set of keys for each transaction. Some data encryption standard mostly used, or we can say widely used, symmetric key encryption, where today use 56-bit encryption key, where other type use 128-bit keys up through 2048 bits. So here are the cryptography. Some e-commerce security requires cryptography. So here we will learn about some cryptography which is based on the some application application and solutions. So now let's start with the introduction to cryptography. Plain text means the message. Encryption means encoding, or we can say hiding the contents from outsider, that is the message. In ciphertext means the encrypted messages, and the decryption, which is the process of retrieving the plain text from the ciphertext. So they include encryption and decryption methods which make use of a key and a coding method. So these are all about the basic about the cryptography. So some goals of cryptography means privacy and authenticity. In privacy, they gives us security and confidentiality, which only the intended recipient can see the communication. Now in authenticity means integrity, means the communication is generated by the legal senders legal senders. So it is the goal of our cryptography. So in encryption technique, there are three type of encryption technique are used in first symmetric or private key encryption, second asymmetric or public key encryption, and third is the digital signature which is used on a variation of a public key encryption. So students, let's revise a little bit about encryption and decryption. We have already covered, but see once again how sender sends request with the help of encryption algorithm and how decryption algorithm to be received. So in public key we have covered some encryption symmetric key which is related to our digital keys. They may be public or private. In both key used to encrypt and decrypt the messages. So once we use to encrypt message, some key cannot be used to decrypt messages. So here are the some public key cryptographic which is following the some steps like original message sent to their recipient public key, message encryption, and how they receive the private key to their recipients. So in public encryption using digital signal and hash digest mean some application of hash functions by sender prior to encryption produced hash digest that recipient can use to verify integrity of data, and some double encryption with sender's private key help to ensure authenticity and non repudiations. So here are the let's check once again public key cryptography with digital signature. Here are the some original message, some hash functioning sent to their hash digest where some recipient public key and private key sent in ciphertext form, and where sender public key received with authentication ciphertext and recipient again hash, and finally it sent to the receivers. So in digital envelope it addresses weakness of public key encryptions where it is related to our symmetric key encryptions which is faster but more secure. So some uses of symmetric key encryption to encrypt document, but in public key encryption to encrypt and send symmetric key. So here is the public key cryptography creating a digital envelope. Some sender send their original message. Some symmetric key and public key can be digital and can be sent to digital envelope, and message is encrypted in cyber text, and recipient handles some private key and some symmetric sessions key and again sent back to the receiver. So some digital certificate and public key infrastructures mean in digital certificate they can verify some documentations like name of subject or company, subjects public key, digital certificate serial numbers, expiry date, insurance date, some digital certificate to their authorized parties, and in public infrastructure it refers to the CAs and digital certificate procedures which is accepted by all the parties. So here are the some secure negotiation sessions using SSL where client browser interact with their merchant server which send request and request reverse sent to their client browser. In client certificate they exchange the certificate which is related to our merchant certificate which is generated by the client generated sessions key and sent back to their merchant key. So after completing all the methods, some encrypted transmission using client generated sessions key are begins. So digital signature and digital and electronic and digital signature authenticates to identify of the sender of a message or the signer of a document, and it also ensures that the content of a message are intact. So they follow the features which are very easy to transportable, cannot be imitated by someone else, and can be automatically time spent. So the ability to ensure that the original signed messages arrived, that means sender cannot easily repudiate it later. So in encryptions, some symmetric systems means same key to be encrypt and decrypt DES. And in encrypts asymmetric systems means some public key encryption. So there are the different key to decrypt, that are RSA and digital signature, which utilize the public key of the organizations. In digital signal, the sender encrypt message with their private key. Receivers can decrypt using sender public key, and some authenticate senders who is only person who has the matching key. So it does not give privacy of data. Description key is public. So in digital signature are a cryptographic technique that are one of the most important applications of asymmetric public key cryptography. They are electronic or digital signature that can be used to authentication the identity of the sender of the message or the signer of the document, that ensure the content of the sent message unchanged. So the signature is a pair of functions of a key pair and a bit of strings. So in digital signal, it is a small part of message which includes name of the sender and their key contents. So using this digital signature, some encrypted method to be used for the sender private key, and then decrypted using the sender public key, which provide the evidence that the message originate from the sender. So in digital signature and public key encryption combines to provide secure and authentication message transmissions. So here are the some digital signature from the sender and the recipient side. In sender, you can see create a message, receive message, hash the message to product a message digest. Here it decrypt the messages. It encryption the message digest with sender private key. It is done with the public key. So here are the some senders and recipient, how they work on the digital signatures. So these are the digital signatures, how it work from the sender side and receiver side. In the sender side, message to be converted with the algorithm, and some encrypt key algorithm to be followed, that is the sender key. In the receiver, these encryption algorithm to be descripted, or we can say to be to be some message algorithm to be used. So here is the digital signature, how it work on sender and receiver side. In protecting networking, that is firewall and proxy server. So firewall is a software application that acts as a filter between a company's private network and the internet. So firewall method includes packet filtering and application gateways. So in proxy server, some software servers handles all communications originating from being sent to the internet, that acts as a spokesperson or bodyguard for the organization. So it is the protection network, that are the firewall and the proxy server. So students, this is the diagram, how firewalls, how these are the client, how they interact with firewalls, and then web server, how they interact with internet and their different remote client and servers. In proxy servers, they react with their client, and some proxy servers send external network to their internet, which are related to our remote client and remote server. So in protecting server and client, some operating system controls authentication and access control mechanisms, and in antivirus software it is the easiest and the latest way to prevent threat to the system integrity. So here are the some public key cryptography authentication modes. A is a secret key which can be decrypted and it called to be public key. So in opposite, here A is a public key, it can be decrypted, and A is a secret key. So here is the just the change of color shows public and private key to be encrypted and in the form of descriptions. So public key inscriptions may for include some three secure and efficient algorithms like RSA, DSA, and some ecliptic curve crypto systems. So these algorithms are not the part of your syllabus. So just for your knowledge, I have mentioned about the RSA, DSA, and elliptic curve crypto system are the algorithms for secure the data. So students, thank you very much for your kind attention. It is all about your security e-commerce systems. So thank you very much.